Hi guys, I'm Melanie with Beyond Ages, and today we're going to be talking about a tough subject. Knowing when to end a long-term relationship can be a very difficult task. We're going to cover some strong signs your relationship may have run its course. The reason it's so tough is so simple. Long-term relationships feel safe, comfortable, and normal, which can make us overlook things that might be obvious to others. Even worse, the problems that creep into our relationship develop slowly. Nobody enters one with someone they hate. Instead, they start out great and slowly decline over time. One small thing here and there until one day we just realize it just doesn't feel the way that it should. If that's where you're at right now, don't worry. It's normal and we've all been there. What's important from this point is that you think it through properly and act on it. If you need more advice after this video, don't hesitate to check out our website at beyondages.com using the link above, and we always appreciate if you can like and subscribe below. So let's get into it. Remember how a healthy relationship is meant to feel. Think back to about the 9-month mark in your relationship. You were through the highs of the honeymoon period and had settled into a happy, healthy relationship. You enjoyed being around each other, missed each other when you were apart, and felt supported in everything you did. How does that compare now? If that's not where the two of you are at, you should talk about that. Are the negative changes fixable, or have things gone too far? Try to be objective and figure out what the real problem is. I know being objective about something we're so close to is hard. Do your best to think about it as though it were through someone else's relationship instead, like you're looking in from the outside. If it were your friend talking about their relationship, what advice would you give them? By thinking it through this way, you can get a much better understanding of what the real problem is. Instead of looking at the symptoms you can see, focus on the underlying issues that are making you feel this way. When you know what the real problem is, then you can decide if it's fixable and better understand how to know when a relationship is over. You're constantly asking yourself if you should break up. If you're constantly asking yourself this question, what's a major red flag? Why? If the core problems were minor and your relationship was strong, you'd work together to iron out the kinks and move on. Instead, you're thinking about this on your drive to work and find yourself focusing on it in the shower, alone with your thoughts, constantly wondering. You only enjoy being with them when you're physically together. Much like the previous point, if you only really enjoy your relationship when you're physically together, that's something you should pay attention to. It makes sense that things feel okay when you're together. You've been in this relationship for a long time and have built comfortable habits. It feels normal to be with them. When you're apart, though, you don't have that normal feeling to insulate you, and your thoughts wander. You begin to question yourself. This is not a good sign. You feel pressure to change. A relationship is meant to be happy, loving, and respectful bond between two people, accepting each other as they are and loving them that way. On the other hand, if you feel a constant pressure to change who you are, this is a big problem. Whether it's direct or indirect, what it leads to over time is self-resentment. You begin to feel as though you aren't enough for them, which eventually leads to a general feeling of being less than. If your partner wants to be with a different version of you, let them. With someone else. You feel as though you're constantly under their control. Trust and respect are a couple of cornerstones of a healthy relationship. Neither of you should ever be in control of one another emotionally. The moment that begins, it's time to make the exit. This situation only ever spirals out of control, one small step at a time. It starts with controlling what you watch on Netflix, and before you know it, you're asking permission to see your friends. If this is the path your relationship is on, it's time to leave. Your partner is abusive. This point is nice and simple. Verbal, physical, and emotional abuse are all 100% deal breakers. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, or what your partner's emotional baggage is. If you're in an abusive relationship, you deserve better. Please move on. You owe it to yourself. Trust is a regular source of arguments. Remember how I said trust and respect are important? If either of you are struggling to trust one another, this is almost always an unfixable problem. You may find a way to mask it in the short term, but it never really goes away. If you don't trust your partner on a night out with their friends, no amount of talking will fix this. The same goes the other way around as well. Whether that distrust is a result of something that happened between you two or baggage from a previous relationship, it won't go away, no matter how hard you try. You aren't getting what you need from your relationship. This is a point that can be hard to see until we have the benefit of hindsight. The thing is, both of you are allowed to expect certain things from a relationship and demand them. If what you need from a long-term relationship can't be found in this person, look elsewhere. Compromise is important, but not when it comes to the fundamentals of what you need to be happy. You deserve to be happy, and so does your partner. Neither of you should be trying to change the other to fit what you need. You're constantly fighting. The relationship feels like work. I think we've all been there at some point in our lives, in a relationship that really isn't working, yet we try to fix it anyway. There just seems to be this constant barrage of problems that pop up. Patience gets low, tempers flare, and things that would otherwise be resolved quickly turn into aggressive arguments. The thing about arguments is that they never have a winner. You both finish up feeling bad about yourselves and harbor increasing resentment toward each other. Relationships take a certain amount of work, but they shouldn't feel like a full-time job. You're no longer attracted to them. Attraction is about so much more than their body. A happy relationship needs physical attraction, trust, respect, and overall happiness if it's going to last. Chances are, if you've lost interest in getting into bed with your partner, one of these other elements may be missing. Like all of these issues, it's something you should talk about with them and attempt to fix. Still, it's a serious red flag that you need to be aware of. Don't allow yourself to make excuses for it. And if you found our video helpful and you'd like to learn more about dating, love, and relationships, please like the video below and subscribe to our channel. You can always check out more articles about similar topics on beyondages.com by clicking on the link above.